刚欣赏的玄之又玄的敦煌壁画，接下来的这位表演者也可称得上是一位神人。他的魔术表演曾在美国多地的剧院演出，并且赢得了众多魔术界的大奖。让我们一起来期待一下，今天他又会为大家带来怎样精彩的表演。
Upcoming next is a magic show by Douglas McKay. He's a magician member of the Magic Castle of Hollywood and the winner of the close-up magic competition at the Open Magic Circle. Tonight, this gentleman of magic will enchant you with the classics, much as he does every Saturday in Hayward. May I present to you the magic of Douglas McKay.
Sinin Kuala. I did my best to pronounce it correctly. I apologize if I got it wrong. But it is a pleasure to be here with all of you today. It's a very special occasion, and in English, Happy New Year. So, I'll tell you what, I'm going to share with you an experience I did when I was traveling abroad. Have any of you ever been to Amsterdam? Maybe? Not New York, Holland. No, in Amsterdam, Holland, it's a very charming city. They have the canals and the wooden shoes, the tulips and all that kind of thing. And here I was a tourist in Amsterdam, and I happened upon a local guy, I think his name was Tommy, and he asked me if I'd seen a policeman. I said, no. He said, in that case, stick him up. And he pulled out this bandana. I'm not sure which gang uses these colors. And he made it into a bag, and then promptly asked me for my money. Well, unfortunately for the thief, I was going cheap that day. $3. Of course, the thief doesn't realize I go cheap every day. He then asked for a time of day. I then looked at my watch, but no sooner did I look at my watch than he took the watch. I got really upset. I said, you've taken my money, you've taken my watch. Why don't you go ahead and steal my ring? And he said, well, if you insist. So, having taken my watch, my ring, and my money, the thief ran down the street. He made off like a bandit. But you know what? He didn't realize he was dealing with a magician. For when he opened the bag, he found nothing. And that's because I still have my ring, I still have my money, and you know what? I think it's time to start a magic show. Now, at this point, I need a volunteer from the audience. I think somebody's been pre-selected for me. Would you like to be the person to help? Great. A big round of applause. Please stand. Thank you very much. What is your name?
Zoe.
Zoe. Excellent. The magical Zoe's going to help us out. Zoe, do you ever do any sewing?
No.
Quick question for you. If you take 2 pieces of fabric and sew them on 3 sides, what do you get?
I'm not sure.
You got it right, you'd have won the Ferrari. But you get a bag. Yeah, you get a bag. That's what happens when you take a piece of fabric or 2 pieces of fabric and sew them on 3 sides. Do me a favor, Zoe, just feel the fabric. It's a fine fabric, right? It's a bespoke bag, maybe I say so myself. This is actually my grocery bag. You know, here in California, it's a very progressive state, i.e. we're the first to do a lot of things, including bring your own grocery bag to the grocery store. Do you ever do that? Do you ever bring the grocery bag to the grocery store?
Well, my parents.
Your parents do? All right, they got you on that one. That's good. Well, this is mine, and you can see it's a pretty small one. That's because it drives my wife crazy. I actually buy just 1 ingredient and go home. Can you believe that? But that's why I need such a small bag. But I tell you what, let's do this, Zoe. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Reach inside the bag. Reach inside the bag. What do you feel?
Nothing.
Well, actually feel the bottom of the bag, otherwise you can't keep going and going. But go ahead, reach inside again. And pull it inside out. Grab it and pull it inside out. There you go. Now the outside's the inside, the inside's the outside. And let's do this. Look inside. What do you see?
Nothing.
That's because I haven't gone shopping yet. Now, in this pandemic, things have really changed, probably permanently. For example, have you ever used Instacart to go grocery shopping? Maybe your parents. Anybody use Instacart? Isn't this crazy? Who would have thought 4 years ago that you pull out your phone, open an app, make an order, and like an hour later you get your food. It's like magic, isn't it? A different kind of magic. But here's the thing, I've got something even better than Instacart. Yes, it's easier and it's better. And I'm going IPO at the end of today, so if you want stock options, talk to me after the show, right? With mine, you just think of it. That's all you do. Now Zoe, do you ever help in the kitchen? Do you ever do any cooking? All right, Zoe, imagine if you will, you're gonna cook an omelet. What's the first thing you need?
Eggs.
Egg! You heard it. She's thinking of it. She's thinking of the egg. That's all you have to do is think of it. And I think of it, and like magic, by thinking of it, it magically appears in the bag. And if you've been to Trader Joe's, you know that's a real miracle these days. Zoe, look inside. You see the white egg in the dark bag? Mm-hmm. You do. She does. All right, that's great. Now, it gets better. Oh, it gets better. Yes, would you do me a favor and just gently tap there. Be careful, it's fresh. There it is. It's still there. Now, the return policy. This is where it really gets good. Have you ever bought things on the internet? It just doesn't work out. You got to take it back. You go to the UPS store, you go to the postal office. You got to go through this rigmarole, right? But this, way better. Because all I have to do is to dematerialize it into nothing and throw it back into the metaverse where it disappears. Along with all that meta stock about a year ago. And now, we're back to where we started, with an empty bag. Yeah. Here, go ahead. Check, feel the material. That's good material, right? Yeah, it's very bespoke. It's very bespoke, if I may say so. And let's do this. Would you do me a favor? And would you reach inside the bag? What do you feel?
The bottom of the bag.
There you go. She learned. Go ahead, reach inside again. Grab the bottom of the bag. Pull it inside out. Now the inside's out, the outside's in. Now, here's the thing. You're pretty smart. I bet you use applications like Word or Excel. Do you ever use those kind of applications? Those software programs? You will be. It's coming. Trust me on that one. But what happens is, as humans, we make mistakes. Sometimes you do the wrong thing and you have to undo it. I don't know if you're aware of that, but you can do this on software. You can undo it. And there's actually kind of a universal undo feature, which is Control Z. Now, first of all, look inside. There's nothing inside there, right? You don't see anything inside the bag?
No, I don't.
But what if I really do want to make the omelet? And I want to undo what I just did a moment ago. It's by doing Control Z. That's how I undo it. Now watch. I do Control Z, and like magic, I've undone it, and it comes back. Check it out. It's still in there, right? Snow white egg in a dark bag, right?
Yep.
Excellent. Now, I tell you what, I'm going to give you a chance to catch me in this one. Maybe I went too fast. Zoe, would you just touch to make sure it's still there? Be careful, it's fresh. Now I'm going to go very slowly so you can see the moment it happens. I take the egg and I dematerialize it and throw it into the metaverse where it disappears along with all your meta stock you bought a year ago. And we are back to where we started with the empty bag. And Zoe, would you touch the material? It's a fine material. It's a bespoke bag, if I may say so. And Zoe, would you do me a favor and reach into the bottom of the bag? What do you feel?
The bottom
of the bag. She grabs the bottom of the bag. She pulls it inside out. Now we'll go back to where we are in real time. So here's the thing. You've seen me do this twice. Now, what I'll be presenting to you is, in fact, the magic of Zoe. Zoe, look inside. You don't see anything in there, do you?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Now, here's where you're going to be the magician. Ready for this? Your moment. You might be on America's Got Talent someday. Do me a favor. with your right hand, or left hand rather, put your fingers inside, thumb outside, just like that.
Like this?
That's it. Pinch hard. Pinching with your right hand. Do the same thing over here. Fingers inside, thumb outside. You're pinching hard, right? Okay, great. Keep pinching with this hand. With this hand, let go. Hold the bag up high. Now, are you ready for the undo? You're going to do the undo this time. But first of all, shake it 3 times. 3 is a lucky number. And now, I want you to think about the egg. Are you thinking about the egg? She's thinking about the egg. Wave your hand at the bag. That's what makes the magic happen. And now, for your big moment of applause, reach inside the bag and take out the egg. And look at that! She did it! She did it! All right. A big round of applause for Zoe. Thank you so much. Let's give it up for Zoe. All right, love it. Now, at this point in the show, I'd like to ask a kind of an opinion poll of sorts. So, how many of you believe that strange things can happen? A round of applause. By round of applause, how many of you believe that if you have a strange dream, it could come true the next day? This has nothing to do with the show. I just want to know where the nutcases are sitting. But I tell you what, in my dream last night, I happened to have a deck of cards. And I tell you what, let's see, would somebody in the front row be able to help me out, perhaps? What's helping me? Who would be a good person along here to help me out with a selection? All right, maybe, let's see. Would you be able to help me out, sir? All right, thank you very much. What is your name, by the way?
Yung.
Yung?
Yeah.
Yung's going to help us out.
Yeah,
So Yung, you can stay right there. Just say stop real quick. Just say stop. Just say stop. Right there?
Yeah.
Would you take your card? Okay, would you look at your card? Look at your card. Show it to the audience too. Make sure we've got some backup here. And we're all different. I wasn't cheating. So here's the deal. I'm going to have you just say stop. Just say stop when I go through the card. Just say stop.
Stop.
Okay, put your card on top. Yun, thank you so much. A big round of applause for Yun. Yun has chosen 1 card out of 52, and upon his choice lies the success or failure of this entire act. Because last night, in my dream, this is what I drew. Add a little bit more depth to this. I'm not an artist, by the way. Although it might be on eBay by the end of the night. You never know. Is it starting to look like your card? Okay. Oh, I have to add more detail. Sorry about that. All right. Yeah, I have to add a little bit more. Now, we are going to find out if you has allowed us to bring a dream come true to all of you. So, would you please, in a loud, clear voice, share the name of the card you selected? What was the card?
Square 5.
The 5 of diamonds?
Diamond 5.
Diamond 5. Oh. Well, 5 of diamonds. Well, you know what? He's never done this before. I couldn't expect him to do it right the first time. But you know what? The problem really isn't his fault. The problem is my fault. You see, I didn't complete the drawing. So all I have to do is to add a line here, and a line here, and some shading. And what you'll see is that, in reality, this is not a drawing of the ace of spades like you thought. What this is a drawing of the entire deck. See this entire deck? It just so happens that the ace of spades is in front. And your card, your 5 of diamonds, it's in there, right? Yeah. Well, here's the thing. In my dream, this is going to sound crazy, but in my dream, your card came to life. Isn't that crazy? It sounds crazy. But indeed, I think this is starting to look a little bit more like what you had, right? Yeah. Let me add a little bit of action to it, a little bit of lines of motion. And there we go. Now it's looking a little bit more, I almost forgot one other thing. To make it more presentable, I guess what we'll do is I'll put my signature on it, and that way it's more suitable for framing. This is kind of like my Chinese version of my name. And for you, this might be a simple like drawing.
Thank you.
Thank you. But for our audience, it is a reminder that, you know what? Sometimes dreams do come true. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you see me up here. I'm not up here with some boxes with animals in them or ladies with embarrassing outfits. I'm just a guy with a deck of cards and some odd ideas. And the only reason why there was any magic today, and the only reason why there's only magic left in this world, is because nice people like you keep it in your imagination. For that, I thank you very much, and I wish you a good night.